Project incoming! It's a Christmas tree farm. And for some reason, I feel a need to show every side, every angle, everything, every time. Don't know why, can't explain it. You're just witnessing it. But yeah, it was a thing I got at Hobby Lobby. Originally $5, but they always had their Christmas stuff half off, so it was like $2.50 for one. So of course I bought 3. Yeah, I can't handle just buying one, obviously. So there I am with the pointy tool, trying to saw off that top part without breaking it. Spoiler alert, I broke it. But it's me, what did we expect? It was gonna break. It's not a big deal, it didn't break the entire thing off, just, yeah, you can see right there. That little thing. And I glued it down, but then it popped off later anyway. But it's fine, you don't notice it. And yes, there is a pin in the back. So one of the projects I did, well, basically someone I know wanted to paint a pin because that was some project that I did. And so I was like, okay, so what shape do you want? Because I got rectangle, I got circles, I got big circles. Never really got an answer, so I picked for them. So you get to see the pin being gessoed as like an extra surprise. I don't know if he will do a video on painting the pin, but the idea he told me, well, it's fitting for him, but others might take it a little crude, and I just don't know if I want that on my channel, but I suppose I can link that for anyone who wants to watch that for whatever reason, if he does. I don't know what he's doing. I just painted the pin and decided to show you guys for some reason. And this is me realizing that little scalpel-y tool thing works a lot better than the pointy clay tool that I had for cutting out thin shapes of clay. And then I try and stick it on top. Because I was looking on Amazon for like some little mini ice creams or something to decorate this with. And I seen, it was like a book and it had like this ice cream on top. It was kind of down like I had this in a little melty. And it was just a decoration. And I thought that was super cool and I liked it. And that's what I wanted because this thing needed something more. Ah, yes, the stripes. This was not fun. There was a lot of back and forth. Even with, like, initially penciling this in. And I actually forgot that after I put the purple on, the other color I did was gray. I forgot that until I was editing this video. I was like, oh, yeah, I made a good decision changing that. I didn't do the change on camera, I did it off camera. There was honestly a few things with this project I didn't do on camera. Partially because I was getting a little stressed on time. Because last weekend, like, almost all my work time kind of was non-existent. Like, I thought I would have more. It just did not happen. So I felt way behind on this. And just, like, some of the little details and things just were a little tedious to try and film. I need to work on my setup a bit more. Maybe move my camera a little closer because I realize that I seem to like having my project super close to me. So, we'll try that. I honestly don't know what next week's project will be. I got like a little idea or two floating around. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Also, I wish the pink Posca that I had kind of worked because doing the stripes in the gray Posca made it super easy. Like, yeah. I just took a paintbrush and I took some paint off the pen and I just did the little edges that you weren't going to see anyway, but was going to bother me if I didn't do. And that I just, finished that little edge where the Posca could not reach. Yeah, there was a little dilemma. There might have been a couple, but there was one big dilemma, I should say. And we'll see that here shortly. But yeah, the Posca was too inconvenient, so I could not have the color pink that I wanted. Other spoiler alert, I changed the gray to pink. This is also based on a character, and it was the character that I've showed in the last 2 videos now, I seem to have developed an obsession to this character and ice cream things. So, yeah, and there's a switch over to pink. Anyway, back to this character and ice cream things. I don't know, they just, in my head, they go so well together, and I just really like the ice cream popsicle thingy that I redid the ornament with. Well, I like both his ornaments, but, like, I don't know, just the ice cream one apparently just really stuck with me for some reason. But I believe I mentioned this character was circus themed. So, I mean, this is supposed to be a circus stand of sorts. Like, you'd go there and you might see, different tents or different booths, kind of like the fair. And this is one of them. I actually have 3 more this same size. One is another Christmas tree farm. Because like I said, I just can't handle buying one, obviously. But anyway, yeah, 3 more this size. Oh, yeah, you can see the other ice cream that I did there. Long before I did camera stuff. Oh, and here's me struggling to blend paint. That's not fun to watch, and I just slowly leave camera several times, but yeah. But back to what I was saying, I have, 2 more this size, and I can buy another one from Hobby Lobby, because I have 4 characters, 3 other characters in mind, 4 including this one, for booths, and I know I want one to be like the balloon dart game, so that's going to be one I do eventually. I don't know if I'm going to start that right away or take a little break, because honestly, I didn't find this process very fun. I think I had fun with one part of it, and that gave me issues. Again, we'll see that shortly. But yeah, so I don't think it's going to be like a series I do one right after the next, because quite honestly, I don't have ideas for 2 of them anyway. So we'll see how that goes. But I also have one more bigger one that I bought. It was a rare trip to Michael's. The closest Michael's in my area is about an hour away, just over an hour away. And I think that's the only one I know of up here. And Hobby Lobby's just next town over, 15-ish, 20-ish minute drive. Not that far. So I go to Hobby Lobby once a week, sometimes once every other week, before I start having withdrawals. But anyway, yeah, I've sidetracked 30 times already, just squirrel braining. But the big one, I'm thinking will either be a ticket booth or a prize booth. And it has the little banner up top with I forget what it says, some sort of pumpkin patch kind of theme though. But it has that little banner up top with the letters on it, and I actually, went through all the letters, and I think tickets works better number-wise, but I want to do prizes, so I don't know. I'll figure it out later. And that was me showing off my unicorn glitter glue, and I probably got that on Walmart clearance. I love clearance. It's so much cheaper than original price. Also, all those colors are just super pretty to me. And I don't know, I've actually really, really liked the pinks and the purples. Oh, and there's my sketches that I was doing to practice. We're getting to the fun part. That was also a dilemma. Obviously, based on the last video I did, this was, not exactly a normal... I almost hesitate to say style, because I don't feel like I have a style. I feel like it's just one form of struggle and another form of struggle. I just don't feel like I have any consistency to be comfortable saying that I have a drawing style. But, yeah, it's not normally the kind of way I draw anyway. But I actually really, really like how this part came out. And, yeah, there's me sketching with my little purple pencil. It's just a mechanical pencil, nothing fancy, but it's purple and I like purple. If I have not made that obvious. And, yeah, I mean, I guess there's nothing too much to say about the sketch, other than it was very weird sketching on that material, because it felt like I could, tear into it super easy because it was about 1,000,000 coats of white paint to cover up that black. That was not fun. Oh, here's my dilemma. So you see all those colors, right? Those are a lot of Posca pens and some, I think, artisan pens in there. And yep, there's some really old artwork that I did when I first got my Poscas. I found that at a rummage sale and I painted it up and it's ugly. Yeah, those are two of my characters as well. They mine. And mine alone. Mine. But yeah, seeing all those. So now I break the paints out. There's a sun-kissed peach in there. And it would have made a fine enough skin tone. That was not good enough for me. I had to go and squeeze paint into my other tubes and shake it up because that's how I mix paint, especially if it's a color that I know I'm going to use quite often, like a flesh tone. I just reuse my 2 fluid ounce bottles when they get low or empty. And that cameo pink was about half-ish down. And so I just added, I believe it's pale daffodil is what the yellow is called, and white. And these are just cheap paints I get at Walmart. I don't really know how to use the thick fancy stuff because I watered this stuff down and thin it out anyway. Because otherwise it just feels like I'm like layering on goop and it doesn't lay well. I don't know. I've got issues with paint. Yeah, and there was me making a mess. My water was not that clean, so or the paint was not quite mixed in that area. I don't remember which happened. But yeah, his face is all like pink and purple with that round, and I did not have the patience to let that dry. I probably should have. But, I told myself, I don't have time for these dumb mistakes, and then I made like 40 more dumb mistakes. It happens. So, there it is, a little closer up. Now it's kind of hard to see with my hand in the way. There's the one spot I used Posca on, and it crackled. But I put paint over it anyway because that was not quite the color I wanted. I just wanted a base coat down for it for some reason. And there's the gray of the hair. Yeah, I'll work on getting things to stay in frame. That's been a long time process. So bear with me, guys. That's all I ask for. Yeah, because there I go again, leaving frame slowly. And yeah, so with this one, I did a little bit, like I said, a little bit different than the way I draw, and definitely different than the way I color, because I wanted it to be kind of a handmade look, like, someone from the circus who had some artistic skill was told, hey, make a sign and paint it yourself and blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of the look I was going for with the whole thing in general, but especially for the sign. So I outlined everything in like a darker version of the color. So like the light gray to a dark gray for the outline. And I used like a golden brown around the skin. And I don't know, I think it came out really, really cool. Like, this is easily my favorite part. It's just this little face. I love it too much. And I do want to try and do more things like it. Like, I've always kind of wanted to have, like, the normal way I draw, and then, like, a simpler way, where I felt the need to show off my cat head. I don't know why. But it was kind of cute, so there you go. You're welcome. Squirrel-brained again. Back to wanting to draw differently. Like, some artists, they seem to have, like, at least 2 or more ways that they can draw something. And I feel very stuck in one. And I want to keep working on that and maybe have at least a second way to kind of make a mess and draw things. And I don't know. I'm not normally a big fan of chibi. Like, it's very hit or miss with me. But I do enjoy how this one came out. So this might be something I do a little more often. We'll see what happens. I mean, nothing's set in stone. It's art. It can be whatever it wants to be. Also, pro tip, I'm not no pro, but experienced tip. I wouldn't use Elmer's glue with fabric. It will probably hold after a while of drying, but again, I'm impatient. So I think I forgot to film it, but I was going to show what I used instead of Elmer's. And it's Beacon. I think that's the brand name is Beacon. But it's a felt glue that I got from Hobby Lobby. And it works amazing. Like, I've used it on my dolls. I've used it on this project. It works really, really well. And I will swear by that for my fabric gluing needs. Yeah, I skipped ahead. Because there was no way I was going to film putting the ribbons on the poles. Although I am obsessed with the way those look. I know the ribbons themselves are messy. But hey, if you guys want to do one of these yourself, feel free to post your finished product down in the Discord. I accidentally turned my laptop on, and there's Mega Man Zero! I love Zero. He's cool. Anyway, post it down in the Discord below with what you've done with this. I would love to see it. Or I'd love to hear what you'd have done different, or what you do or don't like about it. You know, whatever you got, you can comment down below. If you don't want to join the Discord, that's fine too. I'm not super picky about it. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully I will see you next week with whatever I'm doing. See you then. Bye-bye!